If you didn't know, there's a Super Bowl ad that just played that created privacy concerns and issues. I'm Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic, and let's dive in. Now, Trevor Hughes of USA Today had a really interesting write up on this. And full disclosure, I actually didn't get a chance to watch the Super Bowl. I'm not a big football guy anyway, but I just happened to be traveling, and so it just didn't materialize. But I did watch this ad after the fact. Now, you might have seen the Super Bowl ad if you were watching the Super Bowl for Ring security cameras. And full disclosure, I have been talking about Ring cameras basically since before they were purchased by Amazon. But in that ad, Amazon Ring is essentially boasting how they can scan neighborhoods for missing dogs. Now, this has actually led, fortunately, I think, to new attention on how easily this type of technology, Ring doorbell, which is creating a massive surveillance network, could actually be used to track people. Now, Ring says that basically its massively installed cameras everywhere have helped to return at least one dog per day over the past 90 days since rolling out its search party feature around the country. Now, Amazon is also saying that camera owners must opt into the program, which uses artificial intelligence to scan live feeds and compare footage to a missing dog's photo. In other words, Fluffy took off. You basically upload a picture into the search party feature, and then any doorbell that is, let's say, essentially opted into that, if Fluffy goes running by, it's going to see that and then potentially alert to say, hey, here's where the dog is. Now, Amazon unveiled this new system essentially at a time when Americans in particular are debating the value of persistent surveillance, which also includes things like flock traffic cameras. I've done segments on that as well. One of, I actually think a few days ago as well. License plate readers also coming from Flock and others, and that doesn't even consider things like facial recognition systems that is now using being used by law enforcement, immigration enforcement, all of that, as well as that growing, ever growing network of traditional security cameras that are feeding data essentially centrally into platforms where the AI can ingest it and analyze it. So, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy said in a February 8th social media post announcing Search Party, and I quote, the AI is trained on tens of thousands of dog videos so it can recognize different breeds, sizes, fur patterns, body features, unique marks, shape, and color. And privacy stays in your control. You decide each time whether to help. So, we've expanded this feature so that anyone in the US can start a search party through the Ring app even without a Ring camera. In other words, they're now starting to pull in your mobile phones as well. But here's the thing, because these doorbell systems could be used for far more than tracking Fluffy, right? Especially if Fluffy gets out. And these are obviously ripe for misuse by government agencies and officials as well. And according to senior policy analyst Jay Stanley with the ACLU, and I quote, and I think he's right, I think the commercial surprised a lot of Americans by revealing just how powerful surveillance networks backed by AI have become. That power may be applied to puppies today, but where else might it be applied? Searches for people wearing t shirts with certain political messages on them, end quote. And yes, this is the issue, especially when we're talking about Amazon with the integration of Amazon Echoes and Echo Shows, which have video cameras on them, not just microphones. Basically, we're wiring up the insides of our houses. And imagine walking across that Amazon Echo Show with, I don't know, a Metallica t shirt, a Star Trek t shirt, whatever. Guess what kind of advertising you're going to get? Metallica tickets, I don't know, Star Trek DVDs, whatever it is. This is the point that we are making here, is that we are ever becoming surveilled. And if you think, oh, well, I just have the microphone, understand that it has to listen to every single word that you say because it's listening for a single word to trigger it to then accept commands. And we have seen some spectacular disasters with that. I even did a video demo of that a few years back with an actual Amazon Echo, essentially how I could essentially say a whole bunch of words and then immediately trip it. So it's a huge problem that we have here. And surveillance systems like Ring and Flock, are now popular among police departments and other law enforcement because basically the police say they provide a powerful new tool to track stolen cars, find criminal suspects, and more. And Ring has previously said it's working with both Flock and police body camera company Axon to share footage for crime investigations as well. They say that's opt in, but the point being is we are building and have been building a massive surveillance network, and we've been willingly letting it happen because we're the ones installing the Ring doorbells. This is a massive, massive problem. And quite frankly, I've talked about this before and I will continue to talk about this. But the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because one, I'm it needs to be continuously discussed. But two, I'm so glad that an actual Super Bowl ad basically had the power to get Americans that are not thinking about these things. You know, if you're a hardcore football fan and all of that, you may not be thinking about privacy. It may not be in your world, right? In the same way, I'm not thinking about the Super Bowl when I'm talking cybersecurity or privacy, or football in general. But to cross that bridge and to have basically one of the world's largest televised events, especially here in the United States in terms of televised events, basically bring light and shed light on, oh my God, like really, my Ring doorbell can track Fluffy. What else can it track? That's great. I like to see that, and I didn't think Amazon had that intent, but Amazon just showed what it can do, and what it can do is be a massive apparatus and of surveillance, for the government. And I think that's a big, big issue. And so, by virtue of that, I'm glad that privacy issues are bleeding out of the Super Bowl, and I will continue to bring this up for, well, as long as I have this channel. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please, please, please attempt to stay private, informed, and secure. Take care.